Congratulations on your new CampStove 2, our latest update to our portable camping stove, now featuring 50% more power, onboard battery storage, and a new LED dashboard. In this video, you'll find quick tips on setup, fire starting, cooking, charging, shutdown, and safety. Let's get started. Your CampStove 2 comes in two parts, the orange power module and the stainless steel burn chamber. If you want to get a head start on your power supply, you can pre-charge your power module at home via the micro USB located underneath. To assemble the CampStove 2, insert the power module's probe into the burn chamber and lock it into place by extending the legs below. Set it on stable ground, clear of any branches, and remove any debris or brush from the surrounding area. Now's a good time to get to know the LED dashboard. The orange lights on the left represent the strength of your fire, an indicator of how much heat you're producing. Relatedly, the green lights on the right side show how much power is available to you for charging devices, which will be impacted by the power you generate from your fire. Lastly, the middle blue lights represent 4 fan speeds available to you to control the airflow and intensity of your flames. Good fire starting starts with good fuel. We recommend using harder woods like oak or maple, which burn longer than fir or pine. You can also use BioLite food-safe pellets, which can burn for extended periods of time without any need to refuel. Quick heads up, do not use charcoal, and do not use liquid fuels in your CampStove 2. Also, avoid using damp or green wood, as it'll cause a lot of smoking. If it bends instead of snaps, that's a sign you shouldn't use it. Loosely pack the burn chamber with fuel. 2 important things here. 1. Don't overstuff the chamber. This will prevent airflow for proper combustion. 2. Don't extend your fuel beyond the last row of air jets. This can present a burn hazard and obstruct your ability to place cooking accessories on top of the camp stove. Break off a small piece of fire starter included with your stove and light with a match or lighter and place inside the burn chamber. If you're in windy conditions, we recommend using a barbecue lighter and lighting directly inside the stove. And if you're using pellets, fill up the chamber about 3/4 of the way, leaving the last ring of air jets exposed. Once hot enough, the CampStove 2's fan system will automatically kick in and start providing air to your fire. If you want to expedite the process, you can press the power button twice to the lowest fan setting, but be careful, this may snuff out a weak flame. As your fire builds, start to add pieces of fuel that are larger in diameter. This will reduce the amount of times you need to refuel, and it'll build a hot, sustained fire. Twigs and brush are great for fire starting, but avoid using them as the main fuel source for your fire. They'll burn quickly, and they won't produce a hot flame. The CampStove 2 is a fully functioning cook stove, accommodating a range of camping cookware, including the BioLite portable grill, kettle pot, and coffee press. Whenever using cookware with a handle, make sure it is aligned with the power module so flames are diverted away. And if you're using the portable grill, make sure it's facing away from the power module. A couple other tips on the portable grill. The grill's fuel hatch allows access to the flame, but don't overstuff with fuel. Stay at the jets. This shouldn't change the way that you load the stove. To avoid overheating the camp stove, keep your fan on the first 2 settings. And lastly, you will have a big flame, but flames should not be shooting out of the grill. You run the risk of overheating your unit. If your fire is getting too hot for your cooking needs, you can do 2 things. 1, stop refueling and let the fire die down a bit. Or 2, lower your fan speed to reduce airflow and produce a smaller fire. If you're looking to boil, set your fan to the highest setting. But if you're looking to simmer or just enjoy your campfire, use the lowest 2 settings. Be sure to check out the BioLite blog for an awesome array of recipes you can make with your CampStove 2 system. Pro tip, if you're using the portable grill, toss in some barbecue wood chips for extra flavor. The CampStove 2 uses a thermoelectric generator to capture heat from its fire and produce 3 watts of electricity that you can use to charge phones, cameras, and other gear around your campsite. It also features an onboard 2600 mAh battery that can store energy so you can charge even when the fire isn't burning. And as a quick reminder, you can pre-charge that internal battery at home via micro USB. To see how much power you've got available, press the button on the power module once. The green lights will illuminate to show how full the internal battery is and will activate charge out. A full battery will provide a full phone charge and will charge as fast as a typical USB power bank. As you deplete your battery, the green lights will decrease. They'll light back up as you produce electricity from the heat of your fire. To charge devices, simply plug into the USB port located directly below the LED dashboard. Do not use the micro USB port. That's for charge-in only. Your kit also includes a USB flex light that you can use to light your surroundings at night. Just plug it into the USB port and tap on or off with your finger, or press and hold to dim. When the internal battery is below 10%, it'll stop charging external devices and reserve power to keep the internal airflow system running. To re-engage charge out, increase your fire to generate more power. If you plug in a device when the battery is hovering around 10%, you may notice it charges in cycles. That's normal. Thanks to the internal battery, you can also use the power module independently as a power bank when the CampStove isn't running. As a reminder, the stronger the fire, the more power you'll generate. This is where checking the orange lights on the left becomes really helpful. However, if your fire gets too hot, the CampStove will issue a temperature alert. The orange LEDs will start flashing all at once. This means your battery needs to cool down. Stop refueling immediately. The fan will automatically turn to the highest setting to assist with cool down. If the CampStove doesn't start to cool down within a few minutes, the fan will shut off completely. When your unit is sufficiently cooled down, the lights will stop flashing and you can re-engage charging devices. The CampStove 2 will burn fuel down to ash and turn itself off when the internal temperature is cool enough. If you try to turn the fan off and then it turns itself back on, that means the inner chamber is still too hot. Dump out remaining ash in a fire ring or ash bin, or by digging a small hole and covering it with dirt and water. Do not leave any embers behind. Those can start fires. Also, don't try to dump out the CampStove 2 when a live fire is going. If you're looking to expedite shutdown, turn your fan to the highest setting and stop refueling. And don't pour water into the burn chamber. When the stove is sufficiently cool, you can take it apart and nest it. Pro tip: if you're concerned about residue, place the power module inside the included stuff sack and then place that inside your burn chamber. And if you have a kettle pot, that serves as a carrying case for your stove. If you want to clean your power module at home, wipe it down with a damp cloth, but don't submerge it in water. And if you are using the portable grill, wipe down with a wire brush and always dry thoroughly. Lastly, a few quick safety tips before you're on your way. The CampStove 2 is for outdoor use only. If you've got kids with you, great! Have them collect sticks and pine cones for the stove, but let the adults do the actual refueling and burning. When the stove is in use, do not touch any metal parts of the stove. They get really, really hot. If you've got a big flame going, make sure it's downwind of the power module. And lastly, burn regulations vary from park to park and by season. Check with your local ranger for details regarding your specific area. Thanks for watching, and we hope you have a great time in the outdoors with your CampStove 2.